Welcome. This live is for my Reclaim Your Radiance Substack. And what I've planned to talk about today is nose breathing versus mouth breathing, or basically breathing for optimum wellness. And yesterday I published a post about mewing. Now, I don't know if you've heard of mewing. It may seem a little bit controversial. It's kind of all over social media, has been for the last couple of years at least. And it's basically like a branded name from Mike Mew for proper oral resting posture. So it's much easier to say mewing than to say proper oral resting posture. So I am just going to say mewing, but they are essentially the same thing. Mewing is kind of the brand name, I guess you can call it, from Mike Mew, whereas proper oral resting posture is more of the term that speech and language therapists and myofunctional therapists use. So, but it's basically the same thing. But I'm not going to talk too much about that today because I just did a full post on it yesterday. So if you're interested in that, I talk a lot about that in the post, what it is, where it's come from, the benefits of it, and then also if you're a paid subscriber, you can see how to do it and how to fix some of the common mistakes that people make when they're trying to mute. So, but what I want to talk about today is more of the breathing aspect, and particularly mouth breathing versus nasal breathing. And what's the difference? And why is one better than the other? So most people actually mouth breathe to varying degrees. We might think that we breathe through our nose most of the time, but most people, and most people are not conscious of it, but they actually breathe through their mouth quite a lot. We tend to breathe through our mouth, especially when we're trying to get more oxygen. So when we're exercising, we'll breathe through our mouth. And the other common time that people breathe through their mouth is at night when they're sleeping, particularly if you sleep on your back, you're more likely to breathe through your mouth. But if we look at the effects of mouth breathing versus nose breathing, there aren't really pros and cons of each. Basically, mouth breathing is all cons and nose breathing is all pros. So let's have a look at some of the issues connected to mouth breathing. And there's quite a list. Welcome. Oh, hi, Jill. Thank you for joining me live. And some of the issues connected to mouth breathing, a lot of them are sort of around sleep. So things like sleep apnea, sleep disturbance, snoring. There's also issues around dental health, things like dry mouth, bad breath, dental decay, and it can affect blood pressure. So tend to have higher blood pressure if you chronically mouth breathe, and can also affect you mentally as well. So things like increased anxiety also can have an impact on cognitive function, so just brain fog or reduced cognitive function, and it also impacts on the circulation, so reduced circulation and particularly reduced blood flow to the brain. And I'm going to talk about sort of the main reason for that shortly. The other issue with mouth breathing is that it's quite common to over-breathe when you breathe through your mouth. And that might sound a little bit strange because generally we think more oxygen coming in. So breathing in more oxygen is going to be a better thing, but not necessarily. So our bodies are designed to have a balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide to function optimally. And when you overbreathe and you take in too much oxygen, then that interrupts that balance. And so it's actually not good for our well-being. And it can actually cause, so overbreathing can cause a spike in adrenaline and blood sugar as well. So constant overbreathing actually puts quite a strain on the body in a similar way to chronic stress. So mouth breathing, pretty much there's nothing good to say about it. So let's have a look at nose breathing. And nose breathing is the opposite. So it's all benefits. There's no pros. There's no cons. So the benefits connected to nose breathing. Sorry, I was trying to look in the chat as well as on the notes. So welcome, Chris. That was what just diverted my attention. So nose breathing benefits: high energy levels, balanced blood pressure, healthy heart rate variability. I'm not going to explain that too much, but basically, heart rate variability. Heart rate variability is a measure of how resilient your body is in managing stress. So healthy heart rate variability means you have a high level of resilience in terms of managing stress, which is obviously a good thing. Lower levels of stress and anxiety, healthier teeth and gums, nose breathing, and particularly when it's paired with proper oral resting posture or mewing, so having your tongue resting on the roof of your mouth, encourages effective jaw and airway development. So it opens up the airways, you can breathe much more easily, and also healthy lung function. So when you breathe through your nose, your sinuses, so your sinus passages, it's got a bit further to go, the air basically. It gets filtered through the hairs in your nose, it gets warmed up, it gets slowed down, and it gets pressurized. And all of that means that by the time it's reaching your lungs, it's much easier for your lungs to process. So breathing through your nose is helping with your lung function. It's making it easier, less work for your lungs to process the air that you're bringing in. And the other big advantage of nose breathing is that it releases about 6 times more nitric oxide than mouth breathing. Now, this is nitric oxide that we're talking about, as opposed to nitrous oxide, which is laughing gas. So nitric oxide is it's a gas molecule that your body produces. It's a signaling molecule or a neurotransmitter, and it has numerous benefits. So a lot of the benefits that you get from nasal breathing actually come from this higher production of nitric oxide. So nitric oxide improves blood flow and oxygen supply. So that's all your cardiovascular and circulation health, including enhancing blood flow to the brain, so you're more alert. It's key for arousal and erections in men and women. So chronic mouth breathing can actually affect sexual function as well. Nose breathing and the release of nitric oxide helps to regulate your immune response. Particularly it can help to prevent viral infections, so airborne infections as well. and improves lung function, which we've talked about, and it improves muscle performance and recovery, which is all to do with that the oxygen metabolism and blood flow as well. It also fights inflammation and supports bone health. So, yay for nitric oxide! It's one of the key players in our body, and nasal breathing is one of the best ways to produce significant amounts of nitric oxide. So, from this, it's really clear that our bodies are biologically designed to nasal breathe, to breathe through our nose. This is our natural way of breathing. It's optimum for our well-being. And one thing that I really love is I'm you might be able to tell I'm a little bit of a biology geek when it comes to health, but I love it when things are simple. Um, and the more I kind of study health, the more I think it comes down to just some really foundational things that are actually quite easy to do. And a lot of them are just the ways that we do things, like breathing, which maybe we're not necessarily doing in the optimal way. We've developed bad habits around it. So, particularly breathing through our mouth more than we're breathing through our nose. And those things they're easy to kind of correct. It just takes a little bit of conscious effort. But it's not necessarily doing more or, doing some complicated routine or anything like that. It can be as simple as breathing through your nose rather than through your mouth. Just becoming conscious of that, and more being conscious of just closing your mouth and breathing through your nose. And as I've been writing, so the first series of posts that I've been doing for Reclaim Your Radiance, which is specifically designed for women over 40, health and beauty for women over 40. But what I've sort of been discovering as I've been writing these posts is a lot of this would actually be really helpful for people who identify as male as well. And so what I might do is, once I've written the series of posts that I was planning to write, which I've initially called they call it a 7-part face transformation system, but it's kind of evolved and so kind of this optimum health and well-being thing. Still 7 steps, and I like the first 4 steps or the first 3 steps in particular, all these kind of foundational things like breathing, posture, so how you hold your body, how you hold your tongue, so oral posture as well as body posture, and chewing and swallowing, which was the first one I did. Like, these are basic things that we just do. We just maybe need to do them slightly differently, and they can have massive benefits for our health. So I will actually formulate those first. It will be a set of 7 posts into a course that I'll make available on my website. So at the moment they're just available on the Reclaim Your Radiance Substack for paid subscribers. But I will make them generally available as a course once I've sort of completed this series as well. So it's a little bit more generally available, because I think this information is really helpful for both men and women of all ages. Yeah. So that was kind of all I had for today. I'm just checking my notes to see whether there was anything else, but I think that's basically it. So if no one's got any questions. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to check that. Hang on. Bear with me. Oh, thanks, Chris. I just read your comment. Okay. And Chris, I've seen your comment there too, and I will follow up on that as well. So thank you very much for those of you who have joined me live. If you do think of any questions later on, just feel free to message me and I'm happy to answer. Otherwise, I will be back live next, it's Saturday for me here in New Zealand. And so a week from now. And I'm planning to be talking about optimizing your lymphatic system. So things you can do to activate your lymphatic system to, optimize. So your lymphatic system is basically mainly connected to your immune system and immune system function and waste elimination in your body. Yeah, so activation of your lymphatic system can have also significant health benefits. So if that's of interest to you, you can tune in a week from now, whether it's Saturday or Friday for you, and we can chat then. All right. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.